Buenos dias. I am Dennis Benson. I wanted to quickly just take a moment to thank Aneda, Betty, all the elected officials and all those running for office here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. When I first decided to run for office in 1996 for the state legislature, we didn't have one Latino in the State House. And to be here today with you is an incredible honor, so I wanted to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I also wanted to take a moment just to thank our African-American partners in the room today. Charlotte, who was one of the first people I met with in 1996 when I decided to run for office. Thank you. I don't know about you, but I've been having some frequent bouts of frustration and disappointment every time I tune into American politics. I know many of you here today feel the same way that I do. What I learned growing up in Cambridge, Massachusetts, as the son of immigrants from the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, is that the same intensity of frustration and disappointment that I feel more and more every day toward American politics, I must feel that same intensity in the form of love for my community. Think about that for a moment. The same intensity of disappointment and frustration that we all feel today about American politics. We must feel that same intensity and love for our community. I was born and raised in Cambridge in a community of recent immigrants from the Caribbean and South America. They came to work in the factories of Kendall Square that have now been replaced by the innovation economy. As a young child growing up, I learned very important values. I learned about the unabiding faith that our parents had in the American dream. I learned about the invincible drive that we have to succeed. And I also learned about the civic love we must have for each other as Latinos and people of color. That civic love we must have if we are to overcome a society that is becoming predicated upon hatred. In 1990, the civic love that I grew up learning pushed me to help organize my high school after the death of two young men in my neighborhood who were violently killed, Roberto Carrion and Jesse McKee. That tragedy brought me to a place of activism in my life. It woke me up to a feeling of civic love for my community and not a feeling of anger and disappointment in my community. We cannot just imagine love, we must practice it because it teaches us how to organize ourselves. But more importantly, it teaches us how to work with each other as Latinos and as people of color. Something that is essential if we are to make greater progress in the 21st century. Whether it's fighting the challenge of getting our young people into the innovation economy with more math literacy, and I want to just thank the Latino STEM Alliance for the work that they do in Massachusetts, to getting our kids to learn math and science and get them into the innovation economy, or whether it's facing the challenge of creating more affordable housing, or fighting for economic justice in the form of greater business opportunities for Latinos and communities of color, or fighting for our dignity as immigrants and people of color. As I have done throughout most of our life and in my service as the Vice Mayor of the City of Cambridge, we must have an unwavering commitment to civic love for each other as Latinos and people of color. That is how we will move forward as a community and build a society that is not predicated upon hate, but predicated upon love. A society that will be better for our community as we make progress into the 21st century. I am Dennis Benson, and that is how I amplify. Gracias.